I want to say thank you to Robert and Noah and the entire crew from LKQ and Winder. They gave us a couple of BMW 2023 X3 4-cylinder engines. These were donated to the school so that these kids can take these apart.
And the students are going to love it. I'm very grateful for it, and thank you very much for
Welcome to Sam's Garage, presented by NH Oil Undercoating. We're wrapping up the Bandit's brake upgrade with Wilwood 4-piston calipers, big rotors, and a dialed-in parking brake setup. Then we plugged the Holley Sniper EFI back into Vic's LS swapped Mustang, keeping the wiring clean, the ignition modern, and the disguise tight. We catch up with Nora and ACC Performance to check out their lighter, tougher Boss Hog Torque Converters, flex plates, and coolers. American-made and race-tested. And finally, we visit Bartow County Career Academy, where students are rebuilding a Porsche 911 in just 12 Fridays. Hands-on learning, fueled by dedication. This week, we finished the Bandit's brake upgrade with Wilwood 4-piston calipers and 13-inch rotors out back, plus new lines, a parking brake setup, and proper shimming to get it all right the first time.
This week with our Summit Racing Bandit project, we're going to be continuing on with our big brake setup, and we're going to do the rears in the same manner as we did the front, except we're going to do a 4-piston caliper with the same 12.8-inch rotor. Now this is a WS6 car, and it comes with the rare rear disc brakes, but they're little, like 10 inches. So this is going to make for a nice setup. We've got a parking brake hat. I got parking brake cables from Summit Racing to finish off the job. 4-piston black calipers to match the car and the front. We're going to go ahead and install the driver's side, and I'll show you how to shim everything properly and do it the correct way the first time. When it comes to doing the install on the rear of these GM axles, it's the most important thing. Right here at the edge of the housing is a lip, and in that lip is going to require 2 shims. So these are going to be in the kit. Wilwood knows that ledge exists, so it's very important they go on first. You're going to pre-install the bracket that holds the caliper onto the hat that houses the shoes. This Elite differential, there's going to be this little plug that goes in between the 2 axles. This is the retainer that's going to retain that plug inside this Elite differential, so that I can make sure that my shimming is proper on the Wilwood before I put a close on the rear end. So the axle's in. The next thing that's going to go on is going to be the shim to center the rotor. Then we're going to put the rotor on, just like that. Then we're going to take the caliper, make sure you spin. So now we know we're good here. The shimming is correct here. Everything is good. I can now put my retainer in. Very important, this retainer go in, flat side sticking out with the protrusion on the inside. That's going to hold that metal stop in there. Let's talk brake lines. I went to Summit Racing. They sell these in sections, 24 inch, 48 inches. So let's show you guys how to do a flare at home. When you guys are cutting your piece, it kind of puts some metal ledge and it closes up that hole. What I do is I take a pick like this and I'll open up that hole so that I can get my adapter in the hole. So what we're going to do, take our piece here, we're going to go to 3/16. So now we are going to tighten it right there, our other tool, and we are going to run it down until it stops. And what that does is that crushes the pipe onto itself, creating a thicker lip. Then we take the tool out, the adapter, put this tool straight onto the pipe and run it down again until it stops. And we have a double flare. Okay, so even though we had new brake lines, they were made in copper with the original setup, I went ahead and made new brake lines because I had to adapt them to my new Wilwood brake lines. So I've got them made. I went to Summit Racing, got me a set of stainless steel brake lines, flared them, put them in place, cut them, and now I am ready to install the brake line for the Wilwood. so I'm gonna go in with 7590 gear oil from Amsoil. This is synthetic. This is a torsion style rear end, not a clutch type, so it does not require an additive. Now you want to fill up the master cylinder. After that, you're going to always want to do a mechanical pumping of the brakes. Have someone in the car pump it 3 to 4 times before you open the valves. Once you do that, you should be good to go. All right, so we got the parking brake cables to install. The brake system is completely done. This is gonna go on last. This is my Summit Racing Universal Parking Brake Cable. Now, my #1 tip is gonna be, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The brake system worked just fine. The proportioning valve and the brake master cylinder looked a little old and rusty, but there was really no reason to replace it. So if you wanna save yourself some money and time, do so.
Welcome back to Sam's Garage, presented by NH Oil Undercoating. We reinstall the Holley Sniper EFI on Vic's Stealth LS swap, keeping the wiring smart and the disguise tight. With new sensors, a fresh MSD ignition, and plug-and-play throttle control, we're almost ready to fire.
If you guys are into engine swaps, you want something better for your car, you want to be a little bit different, Holley.com's got everything you need. With the 70 plus brands they have under their belt, there is nothing you can't find to get that engine swap completed. So what we got going on this week is we went ahead and got our new gaskets. We're going to go ahead and put on our Holley Sniper EFI. Now everything as far as the harness goes is still connected to the car. So in theory, all I got to do is put the Holley Sniper back into its place, plug it back up, and it's good to go. So we got an MSD system. We're gonna go ahead and install that after we install the Sniper system, and this thing will be a couple of steps closer to cranking. Now this bracket that the previous mechanic built for this swap, or should I say the original engine, is very nice because it's got the low car throttle cable incorporated in it. And because he made it to the Sniper, doesn't matter what engine it goes on, I don't have to purchase a new cable, I don't have to purchase a bracket or anything, just bolt everything back onto the Holley intake manifold, being that it's an LS and it works no problem. Went ahead and plugged everything up. I took out that chrome piece that Vic had installed on the 347. It does not fit the LS engine, so I just kind of took it out. Zip tied everything in place, and it's back there. The air cleaner, once installed, will hide all that wire in the back. If you guys are running a transmission controller that is not a Holley Sniper 2 or something like that, you're gonna need a TPS sensor signal coming off the TPS sensor to go to control the transmission. In our case, it's a 4L60 electronic control. This vacuum port that we have right here, I'm gonna go ahead and leave that plug in place. I'm gonna put a dummy vacuum on that nipple and go over to the Holley just to make it appear as if we've got vacuum advanced when we really don't. No different than having the dummy coil right here to where the coil wire goes up to the distributor, making you think that's the coil when really the 8 coils are down at the bottom of the car. It really fools it. I didn't have good luck finding hoses because on the Ford radiator, for some reason, you got 1 3/4 inch and almost a 2 inch output on the radiator, and I have a 1.3 to 1.5 inch on the LS. So it's gonna be a small little job trying to get that hose. In theory, everything is hooked up and done, and all I gotta do now is move on to buttoning up the transmission, and then we'll move on to the MSD ignition, and hopefully this thing will fire up. All right, we got the fuel injection completely installed. We've got the sensors relocated onto the new motor. I got the trans sub harness connected. All I gotta do is do a vehicle speed sensor connection, hook up my shifter, do my transmission cooler lines. That's next, by the way. We're gonna go ahead and tackle the transmission, put in the drive shaft, hook up our cooler lines, hook up the shifter, and then we'll go on to the MSD ignition system. And what kind of results have you seen from the customers? You get any feedback from them?
For us to sell, it's easy. Now, more or less, we're just providing a service for the product.
For you guys to have the reputation that you have and the backlog that you have, that means that you do everything correctly when it comes to the steps and the procedures of applying NHOU's products. Alexander, who has come all the way from Europe.
I am a distributor.
Distributor?
Yes,
Wow.
for Europe countries, and have been working with NHO more than 5 years.
So how many dealers do you actually have under you?
At the moment, we have approximately more than 10 dealers, and we have partners, partner service, like garages. They do additional service.
Yep, regular maintenance and service, and then they add this service to their lineup.
Always in the back of my mind, I always wanted to have my own business. At the end of the day, I don't like being helpless, so the more I can learn, the better.
Cool. So do you guys plan on doing this for long term?
We're the first ones in Canada, and we're not going to be the last.
Well, there you go, guys. Father and son team doing undercoating and restorations for people. You guys can get into it as well. This is a father and son team. They're not only going to help protect the investments of others, but they're going to make money while they do it.
Welcome back to more Sam's Garage, presented by NHOU. ACC Performance is back with lighter, stronger Boss Hog Torque Converters. And Nora's back too, now 12 and still wrenching. From anti-ballooning plates to flex plates and coolers, this real innovation is made in Alabama.
It's about time for an ACC Performance upgrade with their Boss Hog Torque Converters, and check it out. Nora is now 12 years old and almost as tall as me. You guys remember when she first started with us, she was what, 5 years old and way down here?
Yeah.
New super light 4L80 torque converter. So what we've done with this to actually remove weight is we've actually added our own anti-ballooning plate that we actually make in-house in Alabama on our own CNC machines. We've also turned around and we'll tack weld and give support to every single fin inside the torque converter. Then we also have some modifications done to the stator and the stator race to give it a lot more strength and keeping it cool again. As you can see on the front cover and stuff, we've actually machined it to where we'll actually have really light weight. This one only weighs 27 pounds.
That's incredible.
So that's good for horsepower down the road, man.
And now you also have your new bolt together style torque converter that you guys are working on.
Yes, sir, we do. Now, this one here is in mid R&D right now. We've got the front covers nailed down, and we've got some precision bearings that we're going to be pressing inside the bottom, inside the front cover. We're going to have multiple turbines and stators, so you can actually choose your stall range at the track right there. There's about 8 different styles of tops that we're actually going to have on there, and once you put this on there, as you see, it'll turn around and then you bolt it up right here, so you can make changes at the track. A lot
Does
of
it
people are going
also
to
add
that.
weight to the
Yeah, the front cover is heavier than the original front covers. That's because when you have so many grade 8 bolts going around, our concentration is trying to keep that weight down. And our no prep torque converters, which are being released at the end of the summer, are actually 9 pounds lighter.
Wow, that's crazy. And that's really where it counts, right, Nora?
Yes.
Absolutely. You still doing the work and helping out with torque converters in the shop, right?
Yes, sir.
You still continue on with your welding and everything?
Yes.
Let's talk about the new coolers that you're going to have.
Yes, we're going to have a new line of transmission coolers, okay? They're made in USA, but we've chosen over years and years of studying and making sure we get the highest quality parts for our applications in the racing world.
Absolutely. The cooling is very important. Now let's talk about flex plates. You got a line of flex plates coming out as well.
Yes, sir. We just got those out. Now, ours only start at SFI. So, we have a nice gambit. We've added almost 100 part numbers on flex plates. These are all going to be SFI. They're going to be zinc coated as well. Then we're going to have an outlaw series of flex plates. These are a little bit tougher. We have several of them that'll take as many as 5 or 6 different style torque converters to mount up in case you're going to be doing, Chevy to Ford swaps and vice versa, and, doing some mix matching and stuff for your hot rods and muscle cars.
Absolutely. Give them an entire package that is proven to work, and they got some peace of mind at home.
That's correct.
Thank you for coming by. It's very cool to see you growing up here in the Sam's Garage arena as well, like you have. And thank you for coming on board and giving us some updates on the ACC Performance products.
No problem.
Welcome back to Sam's Garage, presented by NHOU. We're at Bartow County Career Academy, where students are rebuilding a Porsche 911 in just 12 Fridays. It's hands-on training, community-driven, and fueling the next generation of gearheads, one project at a time.
We all have a passion project. Mine is getting the youth involved in the automotive industry or any tech school industry and replenishing the inventory that is being lost by tradesmen. The Bartow County College and Career Academy, where we have donated a Porsche 911 to the cause, the students are replenishing and rebuilding this car in a matter of 12 Fridays, and it's all volunteer.
So welcome to my shop. This is where all the magic happens. We started the Gearhead Academy Car Club as just kind of an extra add-on to our regular curriculum. The issue is that the industry is currently experiencing a really wild shortage in trying to get skilled labor to come back into the workforce. So Gearhead Academy is kind of a last-minute course correction in getting students involved in working on those kinds of vehicles.
Whether it be a vocational school like this, most cases they're working with domestic vehicles, domestic engines, old school tech. For you to have an exotic German car, a Porsche 911, come amongst this mix and no one be afraid of it and knock it out the park the way they have and go the way they've been going as far as progress, you can't ask for anything more. This class is awesome. Aaron has knocked it out the park. This is not the first one. We've got many more coming. The next one's going to be a Corvette. We had a similar passion, and that was to rejuvenate the inventory that we are missing with the youth in the automotive industry. And I want to thank you so much, Doc, for making this project come to fruition.
So many people in this room were placed in my path. The minute that I met Sam and Julie, I handed them my card, and I knew that I was going to meet him again. This is what we got here.
There is not a shop I have visited, there is not a place I have been to, even some of our members, even Porsche owners in particular, who aren't aware of what's going on in the industry right now. Youth involvement in the trades, youth involvement in fixing these cars is critical. But we are at critical mass. That to us is opportunity. So yeah, the conversation Sam and I had was literally on the heels of a conversation he had also had with our Georgia Commissioner on Non-Public Education, Dr. Lance Berry. With that, this was just a convergence of purpose. We all came together somehow, some way, on a common idea. Not a new idea, but one we had to act on. The wheels started spinning and the ideas started flying, and it was about, hey, if we can get a donor car, can we get it to a VOTEC to inspire these kids to take up the trade, especially the automotive trades? Well, one thing led to another. We're having the conversation. Thought of a person, Howard Wright, European Classics. He happened to have a 911, which is here, that was in the backyard, alone, neglected, but needed, definitely restorable, renovatable. And I made the phone call. Howard agreed to donate the car. Sam took it from there, met Dr. Berry, and the team got together, and yes, this was definitely a team of everyone. A lot of different complementary skill sets came into play, and no, Sam, there's not one of us who are responsible. It was literally the team, and then we got a great instructor in Aaron, who has been absolutely a joy to work with, and the school, Dr. Doss. Thank you to everyone.
And what you've accomplished with the students and the team is incredible.
And I cannot take credit for that. That is, as a leader, where I step back and let the experts take care of that. This is over and above their normal curriculum of what they learn from day to day.
Be sure to check out Sam's Garage on these other media platforms. Send us questions and feedback to info@samsgaragetv.com. From precision builds to future techs, we're keeping the passion alive. The Bandit is stopping strong, VIX LS is nearly ready, ACC's got torque on lock, and the next wave of builders is just getting started. See you next time on Sam's Garage.